Hello, beautiful souls. Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome to BlissBee.me Integrative Holistic Health. My name is Deborah O'Neill, CEO and founder, Advanced Integrative Energy Healing Practitioner, and also working with the works of Psych-K, sound healing, shamanic studies, healing oil collective studies, many studies that I've brought together to form my practice and my company. And I'm here to share because I care. And I thank you for being here. So let's just take a nice clearing breath. We're in the sound area of the sound element of the body. So let's take a nice clearing breath and take a nice deep breath into the lower abdomen. And with sound, and just check in how you feel about that. Does it feel good? Does it feel awkward? Are you worried if somebody can hear you? And if they do, what a great opportunity to share what a clearing breath is and how great it feels, if it feels great for you. So I thought we'd slow it down a little bit today, sort of at the midpoint of the sound element, and it's a little bit unnerving. It can be a little bit hard to comprehend. It can be a little bit you can come up against some resistance. And then again, it might, like I said, it might just feel like your old favorite shirt that you're putting on and feel really comfortable and really joyful and really freeing, and really loving and really nurturing. And yet you might still get that piece of doubt. You might still get that piece of fear. So when I sit into this, when I feel my sit bones on the chair, my feet on the floor, when I sit into this and all my curiosity, I invite you to do this, to sit in and go, what feels right and what doesn't feel right? And what is causing that resistance? So we've gone from areas that are very comfortable to us, our sit bones, our first chakra, our root chakra, attached to our legs, to our feet, the earth. And we've gone into the emotional region, which you're familiar with. We're all very familiar with the emotional region. It's got its peaks and its valleys. It's got its pain and its glory. And then we've come into that fire element, where we can understand that fear and we can understand that stokingness. And sometimes when we touch there, we can actually feel it and feel how tender and overused perhaps that it is. Or blocked, we call it in the energy world. We call it a block. When there's a stagnation or a contraction or a pain or something, there's a blockage, not blocking the flow of the body. We come into the heart area and we can understand grief. We can understand love. And then we come here. We can understand sound. We can understand how some people have an aversion to sound. They don't like to speak on stage. They don't like to speak out loud. They don't like to scream and yell in conflict. They don't like to talk about religion. They don't like to talk about races. They don't like to talk about climate change. They don't like to talk about, it's like full of blockages. We don't like to speak up for what anybody that speaks up against this pandemic is almost automatically shamed. But yet, this is our truth. So this is where the comfort, that's where we've got to learn that it is that blanket. That blanket is the same thing as that safety container at the root chakra, where our feet are on the earth and where our two legs are attached and they're strong and they're holding up this vessel. And they allow us to stand for what I want, what you want, no matter how different it is from anybody else. And celebrate. Because if we've walked through this journey and we're coming out of the place of love for others, love for myself, love for thyself, love for you, me, we, they, their, every living creature, all my relations. This is where we're coming from. This is the best place to believe in me, to believe in you, to know that the contemplation, the curiosity is, the resonance is blue. Sit in front of the blue ocean and wonder where it came from. Look at the blue sky and wonder what's up there. Blue sky thinking, where all our dreams are, where we can bring them in to us, to you. And know them to be true because they're my dreams, they're your dreams. They're thy will. Knowing that and trusting that we're here for a purpose. We're all here for a purpose. So where did that purpose come from? Higher self, source, creator, divine, God, universe, the star people. I don't know. But there's a point where just to know that there is something other than you, me, we, they, there, out there. And believe it in as your truth. And know that there is a guiding force. Know that we can ask and receive. There's so much evidence of that. There's millions of books that have been written on that. Not just me sitting here sharing with you. What I'm trying to share that it's important. It's an important part of this journey. It's really, really important. Because the next two layers that we go into, we're going into the ajna, which is our intuition and our clarity. And then we're going into sahasrara, where we open even more into this environment that we're creating for ourselves. And it comes right back to the cells. Everything that we're doing comes back to this organism and keeping it in its healthiest state, this homeostasis, this balance. Because without our health, what do we have? This is all the path of the holistic health. The health that, why aren't they talking about this? Why aren't they talking about how important our cellular strength is? This is all fortifying. This is all nourishing. It's way better than breakfast. Oh, I hope that I can just slow this time down here and just sit with yourself and know. You may not even know right now. You may not know. Sit in with the notion that I'm open to looking at things differently. That's a good place. When I come up to resistance against anything, whether it's a person, place, or thing, traffic, I'm open to looking at this differently. Even my children, be in the car and I'd be saying to one of my daughters, "Oh, you're experiencing a little frustration with this situation, are you?" And she's like, "Oh, can't handle this big city, all this traffic and these crazy people," and coming home from her small town in Kent University. And I say, well, I invite you to look at it differently. Take this opportunity to look at it differently. And I get that glare. To be a part of my family, to be a part of my world. Thank you for being a part of my world. So let's feel our feet on the floor and our sit bones on the chair as we go into our grounding and centering and aligning. Perhaps take the pen to paper, the digits to the phone, and put down what you believe in. That's, I guess, the difference, I think, for me in religion is it has rules. Spirituality, you take your religion, if you have a religion that you follow, and you step it into spirituality where you start to remove the barriers to entry. You remove the barriers to thinking for yourself and allow yourself to think for yourself. You remove the obstacles that can take you down a different path, potentially. Or you can be that person that sits on the top of the mountain and has a big broad view and loves all, no matter what, good or bad. pain or joy. Just offer love all to all. Let's send some love to Mother Earth as we drop our etheric feet and our tree roots down into Mother Earth, down to the central core of the earth, and turn on all our sensory organs and see what we feel, hear, taste, experience in this moment, here today, as we bring ourselves to this present moment, the gift of this present time, as we ground so we can get through this day in a way, in a grounded way, so that we can trust ourselves, what we experience, and see what shows up. Say, I'm open to the experience of thy will today. What does thy will look like to me, for me, on me, by me? What is my greater purpose here today? And then pay attention to anything that catches your eye. It could be the title of a book, the words in a song. I did enroll my children in Sunday school when they were little, and then I went to church with them, of course, when I was going through my divorce, so that they had a deeper ground than just me. And I wanted them to be and experience elderly people, because there was no elderly people in my world. Everybody has passed. And I wanted them to serve tea to these elderly people and cookies. And I wanted them to be in part of the play for Jesus at Christmas time. And I wanted them to learn some Sunday school hymns and hums. You know, if only they ever learned, the only song that I really remembered, and the chorus is, "This little light of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." I'm putting that into your mind. So hopefully this day, today, you're going to speak your voice. You're going to hear your voice, and you're going to sing, "This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine." Maybe. And so everything in its time, in its place, has its purpose, and everything adds value, and everything matters. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no wrong. There's no doing this wrong. Let's bring that beautiful Mother Earth energy up from the central core of the earth and into the bottom of our feet, and bring it into the roots of our feet and into the tree trunks of our legs. As we stand tall for you, for me, for us, for we stand for all. And into the beautiful hips and the hip joints and the lower abdomen, and allow the deep diaphragmatic breath to expand and contract naturally up into the fire and the passion area. Let's turn on our passion. And into the chest and the heart, and allow it to wash over the shoulders and down the arms, up into the gateway, our neck, our throat, our voice, our truth. Thy will, not my will. Taking the ego out of it, and into the head, and to the top, out Sahasrara, and allow it to cascade down. And as it cascades down, allow the body to come to centering, and finding that stillness point. And it feels like an old friend coming to that stillness point. And allow the hara line to drop down into the central core of the earth, and take it up through the bottom of the perineum and into the Sushumna, the spinal cord, and up through the top of the head to divine, creator, source energy, higher self, higher consciousness, super consciousness, God. Whatever that is for you. There's no right or wrong, and it's allowed to change. And now imagine this golden white effervescent light coming in down this fine line, cascading like another waterfall in abundance as it comes into Sahasrara, our chakra vortex, the top of our head. And allow it to bathe in and clear away all those fluffies, that static. Allow it to Allow it to simply clear the body, heal the body, permission to heal, permission to receive. And allow it to cascade down into the heart and down the arms to the hands. You can also bring in regulating at this time if you like, lifting each toe off the ground, alternating how slow can you go, or the hands on your thighs, or you can rock in this beautiful energy. And you can ask, show me, ever so gently, show me pain-free, show me, tell me, guide me. Guide me as I walk through this day in love. When I wake up in the morning, it's like, oh, good morning, world. When I look up and I say, what miracles shall we perform today? What miracles do you want me to perform today? And I sit and I listen. And I meditate, and I listen, and I come to my Facebook Live and I ask, and I listen. Let's go into our mantra meditation and ask and listen. Might sound boring, but remember, boring's on the involution side. After boring comes pessimism. So be careful with the boring. Stay in hope. That's hope and optimism as we work up the evolution. When we get to boring, we're on the fence. So, a nice deep breath to engage our deep diaphragmatic breathing. Let's see that as stillness or peace or calm, reflection. And on the so, on the inhale, so. And on the exhale, hum. And the inhale, so. On the exhale, hum. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. And the objective is to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose if that is possible. It's a smooth, continuous breath with equal parts on each side. We can count on the lower abdomen 1, up the abdomen 2, 3, and the side ribs 4. Exhaling on the side ribs and the back body 4, 3, 2, 1. Be gentle with this self-study. Be gentle with yourself. The answers don't often come overnight, and sometimes they do. Sometimes a little epiphany shows up, or the pennies drop, how I like to say. Allow this stillness and this calm. Put up the do not disturb sign on the mind. As we make new grooves in the mind. Where the body will long to come back to these grooves of stillness and peace. And our cells will be nourished in this environment of calm and peace. Find it wherever you can. Washing the dishes, doing housework, doing yard work, turning the radio off in the car, turning the sound off in the house. Or listening to instrumental music when there's no words involved. Try something new today. And just be. Just be. Just be you. Experiencing a new you. Our offering today is give your life new meaning. It is all about giving our lives new meaning. Exploring our truths. And exploring what our beliefs are just for today. While we're in this area of thy will, what are your beliefs with regards to thy will? Is there a thy? Step in, try the hat on. Most of all, know that I love you and make it a great day.